People want to feel all cozy and cuddled up in their reality. There's no wonder that they only accept what reinforces that. They aren't disciplined, and that's no surprise. If you are just trying to be cuddled up the whole time and being in your comfort zone, that means that you aren't ever disciplined. Discipline begins by seeing realistically where you are and where you want to be, where you want to go. Otherwise, if you don't have this place A to place B, you don't have that those two places to a gap you need to fill, then there is no discipline to be able to be performed, because you have to have somewhere to go to move just get something done for you to be able to be disciplined. Discipline is about taking action when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to. I, like basically every single person, every single human on earth, do not have discipline every single day. Many times I haven't wanted to go to the gym, so in the morning I have just been like, maybe I should go, maybe not, maybe I should go, maybe not. My mother has asked me, am I going to go train today? Am I going to go to the gym today? Then I said like, maybe, I don't know, maybe just go for a walk, being soft, you know, because I don't want to go to the gym to hit those heavy weights, even though I like to go to the gym, but sometimes I don't. So I thought to myself, no, I do not accept that. I have been inconsistent going to the gym because of many reasons, but mostly because of excuses. If I actually try to, I could fit in my 4 times, 5 times, or 6 times a week instead of the 1 time that I've done each and every week now. You just have really hard and good excuses that aren't even good. To be fair, they aren't even good. No excuse is good. It's just cope. You don't want to go. But I don't like that. I don't like that in myself, to see myself falling down, to not do the thing that I want to do, the thing I need to do. So I said no, I do not accept that behavior from myself. Overthinkers and procrastinators like you, probably watching this because you clicked on this, need some specific tips and actions that you can take so you don't fall into the trap of never doing anything and just thinking about maybe I should go, maybe not, maybe I should go, maybe not. The first one is take pre-commitment actions. So you make it non-negotiable. You make it impossible to not go to the gym or not do the thing, to back out. Like me, when I left for school, I was still unsure if I should go to the gym. Well, I packed my bag. I packed my bag with my gym things, with my shoes, with my clothing, and then I left for school. I did that so that it was basically impossible for me to not to go to the gym, because I had my gym equipment with me. Why wouldn't I go to the gym? It's just so much easier then. So I just made a pre-commitment action. I made it basically impossible for me to back out because I had already planned it. I already said to my parents that I will go then. I will go to the gym. It's just so much easier and so much faster to directly go to the gym and then go home. And that's just so much more enjoyable than just going home and then going back, because it also wastes more time. In this way, I have usually positioned myself to always go to the gym after school directly, because I have the things. It's just much quicker when I'm out of the house. It's just much easier to do that than when I get home. I get lazy. I just start watching some videos. I'm on the couch. I'm eating. Then for me to leave home and go to the gym, go train, that is so much bigger obstacle than me going directly. So I just waste much more time, because when I go directly to the gym, I will have done it and then we get home, and then I will have a lot of time to do the extra things I will still have done. But if I get home, then I might not even go to the gym. I will just waste time. Another tip is habit stacks thought in Atomic Habits. So the habit stacks are basically put a habit after a habit you're actually consistent to do, so you will perform it. So for me, I try to meditate every morning, and even though I have meditated for a long time now, it is still sometimes really hard for me to just get down to meditate. It's really unstimulating. It's not really fun to do. Sometimes it becomes fun, but still. So I have found that if I do not have it in my routine, if I don't have it in my habit stack, I won't just perform it ever then, because I need to do it in the morning, because otherwise I don't do it. For me, I put it after my shower. After my shower, I every single time meditate. I go up here and meditate. That's my habit stack. You put it after something, I always do it. So if you make coffee every morning, you do meditation after or before that. And if you brush your teeth, which you probably should, you do it before or after. Like, it just, you find a way to put it into somewhere that you already are doing something consistently. That just helps you keep it and to keep the routine, because you know that if I go to the shower, then I meditate, then I eat, then I pack, and then I go. That's a clean and easy way to follow, instead of being like, oh, I shower, maybe I'll eat now, and then maybe I'll pack, and then maybe I'll meditate now, but I don't have time, so then I have to go, and then I don't meditate the whole day. So have it in a clear structure. That's why the morning routines and routine for the day are so important. This is the only way I have found for me, myself at least, to be able to meditate consistently. As proof of this, I have had a streak of 144 days of meditating in a row. And the next point is about streaks. Streaks are very powerful methods for you to build a habit, and streaks activate the same addictive circuitry as it does when you get hooked up into scrolling or doom scrolling endlessly. Because when you doom scroll endlessly, it's the same repetitive action. It's a repetitive action, and you keep on doing. It's addictive. But streaks, they also activate the addictive circuitry, because streaks are really addictive because you don't want to break them. Seeing it go up one day, it's just really fun. And because when you have had a streak for a long time, or a specific amount of time, whatever that time is, 30 days, 14 days, 60 days, 200 days, whatever it is for you, it's individual. But when you have had it for that time, you don't want to break it anymore. Because why would you break it if you need to start over all again? And it becomes a part of you and your identity and your ego. Breaking it would shatter your identity, and that is not what your brain wants to do. So then your brain and mind avoids that possibility at all costs. For me, I have to have a streak going for at least 2 weeks to a month for me to actually start caring about it and start sticking to it consistently after that. You should not obsessively care about the streak, obviously, because that's not good for your mental health, to be reliant on a streak to give you your identity. Just having it as a building block, as a foundation to helping you become better, that is the real way and the true way to use that. And why do you think apps like Snapchat and video games use streaks? Because they have also figured out that it's really addictive to you. Snapchat obviously wants you to keep on using it, keep on snapping with your friends, keep on doing that back and forth, day after day. So it keeps you using it by putting an artificial streak that it doesn't even matter anything. It doesn't change anything. You don't get anything from it, but it just gives you an artificial metric that becomes the bond between you and your friends. That's just a crazy thing I find with using Snapchat and those kind of things. And I've seen people that become angry with their friends, that break up with their friends, that they aren't friends anymore after you have broken a streak, because of a Snapchat streak, a streak that doesn't add any value to your life, any value at all. And I do not in any way endorse using these kind of streaks, because that is just really bad. That's why I regularly also break those kinds of streaks if I use those apps, which I don't really use, but still, because I don't want that to be the basis of my friendship, a streak online. That's not what I want my friendship to be based around. And people just get stressed. Oh well, I need to get this streak, because otherwise it runs out, and then they become angry at me and it doesn't matter. But people care about that, and they are just like that. Instead, I would want you more to be like the old people. Think about the old people. Be more like them. They haven't seen each other in a long time. But when they meet up once, or maybe twice, they are the best friends where they left off. They are still as good friends as when they met last time. That's how it should be. Not that it's dependent on some daily interaction. It's obviously good for you to daily interact with people you care about and love and like and etc. But you shouldn't have that as the only metric for you and your relationships. Video games also give you streaks and bonus rewards or higher multipliers to keep you logging in every day after day. And that's just for you to become addicted to them. That's just the basic psychology behind it. And it's not good, because that is a really addictive thing endorsing on your brain. Having streaks is just a tool. Don't be stupid and use it on something dumb. Streaks is really good when you try to build a good habit, something like meditation or journaling. And when you have done it for the set amount of days or time that you need for it to become a consistent habit, they don't want to break that streak anymore, because you just don't want to. So then, even if you don't want to do it this one day, but then you do it because you don't want to break the streak. It's a tool, don't misuse it. I have personally experienced how addictive streaks can be, like I said about the meditation streak, but also another one, a Duolingo streak. I had a Duolingo streak over 1,000 days. It was even more than that, but over 1,000 days. That is almost 3 whole years. That's a lot of time. Think about that. Every single day for 3 whole years. Every single day. I don't have that streak anymore. But before I ended the streak, I thought so long about it. I was stuck deciding so long if I should keep going or end it. Keep going or end it. And this was because it was a bit sentimental. Because I had had the streak going basically the whole time I was in high school, which lasts about 3 years where I am. I started it when I started high school, and then I basically ended it before moving from high school. It was really sentimental because a lot of things had happened in that time, and I guess my identity kind of a little bit had been based around it. That just was really hard for that reason. As I said, sometimes I have even thought about what I would do if I would be on the deathbed, or if something really bad would have happened to me. Would I have told, and I wouldn't be able to complete the streak, would I have told someone to complete the streak for me? Because I was that dependent on it, because I didn't want to break it. Think about it. 3 years you have done a streak, and you break it. That's 3 years gone, even though it doesn't really matter. But 3 years. Well, my final decision, as you know, as I told you, was to break it, and it was motivated by some reasons. Number one, that period of my life was over, and I wanted to move on. This break of the streak would symbolize a new chapter of my life, a new beginning, and it was such a big change for me. I literally, kid you not, had stomach pains and felt ill because of it, and that's how ingrained it was into my brain, into my body. But they're just signals, because if I'm so dependent on something, then I need to use discipline to break free from that. And that was just a reaction from my body, because your body doesn't want you to break its identity. That's the thing it builds itself upon. But you need to use discipline to not be that dependent on something, because if you are dependent on something that much, then people can use that against you, and that's not good. The second thing is that the streak was upkept by me getting a notification in the evening for me to do my session, which I speedran in like 2 minutes just to forget everything I learned and then just move on and do the same thing next evening. And I literally sometimes woke up like just before midnight because I hadn't done my streak or my daily action. So as you can imagine, that lowered my sleep quality. There isn't really any reason for you to get worse sleep quality because of some artificial streak, artificial thing that isn't even good for you. On this picture you can see the streak I had, but at least, I mean, I had on the red filter, as you can see, but it's just insane, to be fair, how much that was, that streak, and how much I actually care about it. And number 3, as I said, streaks are just tools, and in my opinion, I didn't benefit from it anymore. I had already in school moved past that level of language, and I didn't see any worth of having any anxiety and stress about a streak that doesn't matter really. And this streak obviously in the beginning started with me trying to learn a language before starting it in school, so that I would actually know something and I would be able to excel in that language in school. Really, I'm really thankful for it because it helped me with that a lot. But after that, when we surpassed it, it was very pointless. So that was just the point for me to break away from it. And another thing, when I tried to break it, there were many times that I was almost going to go back to do it again. But I convinced myself to finally break free and told myself that I had already chosen and that I should stick with my decision, because I don't want to break my identity. I want to stick with the things I decide. And that also shows you just how strong it was that I wanted to go back to it. It's just crazy how a thing about learning languages that's supposed to be helpful for you becomes something that you are addicted to, basically. Another tip is a daily routine or a morning routine, and an evening routine even. And that's, as I have said, it's really important for you to have a routine. Do you actually remember everything you need to consistently do, and the stacks you have and the streaks you have and everything like that? Do you remember it? If you have 10, 20, 30, 100 tasks you want to do, how do you remember that? Well, you always use a morning routine or a daily routine where you plan out your day, so you know what to do at each specific moment of the day, and that deloads your brain so you can actually focus on the thing at hand. And your brain needs structure. It needs a routine to follow. If you don't have a routine, you're much more likely to fall into the trap of scrolling, of procrastinating, of overthinking, because you don't have the willpower to do it. You don't have the motivation to do it, and you're just stuck deciding. Deciding what to do requires willpower, and you only have a certain amount of willpower each and every day. You start with, for example, 100 points in the morning. Then you decide what to eat for breakfast, what to wear, what to do, if you should go to the gym, if you should not go to the gym, if you should take a bus to school, if you should take a train to school, if you should eat healthy or not, if you should cheat on a diet or not, if you should do work or not. You understand the point, but all this drains your points. So then when it comes to the time where you should do the work in the evening, it's needed 50 points, but you only have 30 left. You can't do the work, then you don't get it done, and you just keep on scrolling, because that's the easiest way for you just to do it, because it doesn't really require any willpower. This is also why you shouldn't start with really high dopamine activities in the morning, because they drain your willpower the most. They just drain it really quickly, like scrolling away, because after that you don't want to do anything, because dopamine is just spiked through the roof. So stay away from the phone in the early parts of the day and just have it in another room. I often have it in the kitchen, out of my sight, so I don't get get distracted by it. I have many times had to tell myself to not start playing video games, to not start scrolling, to not start watching educational YouTube videos. Even that is example before I started recording this. I needed to tell myself to not to do those things, because otherwise I wouldn't have had the energy to do this, to have the willpower to do this, because this takes some effort to get into. But now it feels really good, but before it's just really hard. And after this, sure, I may do it, but then I have done the important work that I need to do today. And that's as well a really good thing, because then you can guilt-free indulge in the pleasures you want to do, in the same pleasures, just a little bit later. And that's just so much better. The only thing I really allow myself to consume in the morning is books, because sure, they have information, they are a little bit stimulating, but they are a lot less stimulating. It's a physical thing. It's not some screen, artificial screen, so I allow that for myself. And it's really good also to get your brain working in the morning. So the action step for this part is to make the perfect Thursday for you and try to follow that each and every day. Well, why Thursday? Because it's just average day in your life. If you can perfect the average day in your life, then every other day will also be perfected, even though you won't have a perfect day ever, but as close to it as possible. Now you might complain and say, but I can't do that because every day isn't the same, because on Monday I start at 10 a.m. but on Wednesday I start at 12. That it was not the point. That's just an excuse. You complain about not being able to do it, so you don't even try. Silence that part of your brain. You don't want to have that part of your brain active, telling you that you shouldn't even try, because you have an excuse. You try each and every day to get it as close to the perfect routine as possible. Just do it and do it and do it. If you get 80%, follow 80% of the routine and 20% is a slip up, you don't have time for that. Well, congrats, that's really good. That's a lot better than normally. You have actually gotten the thing this done, or a lot of things done. Maybe not everything, but a lot of things done. That's just a lot better than before. Would you rather have this than having strolled away the whole day? This is a lot better. So that's why a routine is just really good for you, because you just have planned it out, so you're much more easily going to get everything done. The morning and evening parts of the routine are also especially important, because they set the tone for the day and the next day. And in the morning you should, for example, meditate, shower, read, work, feel fresh, and etc. So things that take a little bit more willpower to do, you should put them in the earlier parts of the day. And then in the evening you should have a wind down, you should read, shower, plan the next day, and especially priority tasks, so the top 3 most important tasks for you to get done. And that's also the thing about planning the day before, because then you don't need to use willpower to think about what you should do the next day. And do this so you don't waste the points deciding what to do. Put the clothes on the bed before. Okay, it's the next day. That's why my clothes have changed and the camera is a little bit different, because it took so long to record. But the next thing that you should focus on also, or another action you can take to get disciplined, to not overthink as much, is remember to take small steps. Take the small steps, because those are the things that build the foundation that the building is built on. You cannot build the Empire State's building without first laying the foundations. So the small steps are the foundation. And if you can't even do 1 minute of meditation or 1 breath of meditation, write 1 word of gratitude. Go to the gym or train a little bit, go on a walk. If you can't even do that, then why would you try to bench 100 kilograms, to meditate for 10 minutes, to journal a whole page? Why would you try that? Because that won't be possible for you. That's why you gotta start low and progress upwards, basically progressive overload. This is also why the army always starts the day with making their bed first thing, because that sets the tone for the day. You have gotten action done, you have gotten a habit done, and that also puts your bed, the place where you slept, nicely, and you don't sleep there anymore during the day. That also means that you don't waste time laying there. So that also just removes a bad thing you can do. But it sets the tone for the day, because you've done something good, you have put your life together, so then that gives you momentum to keep on moving. Because momentum is one of the most important things. All the things I have talked about in this video are about momentum. They give you momentum to make it easier for you to continue. Because these habits that you are trying to develop, you're trying to do every single day, they are habits you want to keep on doing throughout your life, because they are good for you. To meditate, you clear your brain, you get clearer thoughts, clearer thought patterns. You don't get distracted by futile things that you shouldn't even get distracted by. And that's just really good for you throughout your whole life. So these habits, they build momentum. So when you have actually started and when you have built these habits, at least early on, If you're like me, you're probably really young, or at least pretty young, and when you have built them in your early years, it's much easier to do them when you're older. Another really important way to keep going, to be consistent, is having accountability. If a personal streak breaks, don't start coming up with excuses of, oh, well, it wasn't because that, because of this, because of this. No, you should take accountability. Take full responsibility that it is your fault that you failed that streak, but then start over again. The only excuse I would accept would be if it would really be some really near-death experience or near-death event or something that has been absolutely impossible for you to do. But try to keep it as much as possible. With accountability, you can also have a friend or someone you pay or do something if you break a streak, because that also gives you another reason to not fail. Then basically all of this also, it is trying for you to strive towards the new identity of a better you. So identity is another step that I can tell you. To get a new identity, you need to take the actions that build that identity and reinforce the person you're trying to be, the character traits you're trying to have. You have to plan a vision and how you want your identity to look in the future. Because if you don't know where to go, then you don't know where to go. That's just how it is. Then you'll get astray. You plan a vision and you plan, oh, I want to have these character traits. I want to know this. I want to have read these books. I want to have done this. I want to have this, etc. And then you strive towards that. What do you need to do each and every day, each and every week, each and every month to reach that goal eventually? Try to do the habits that identity, that perfect identity of you is doing, because doing those habits basically is you having an identity. So just by doing the habits, you're already reaching that identity. Discipline also goes for bad habits. You should have the discipline to not do them. Discipline to stay away from them, to keep your thoughts on other things. That is also what discipline is about. It's not just about going to the gym, doing something positive for your life, doing good habits. It's all about removing bad habits. So it's a balance. It's about getting and then removing. That's really important to understand and to remember about discipline, because most people just think about the getting thing, not the removing. Because everything has sacrifices. Everything needs sacrifices. If you believe that you won't need to suffer any pains in your life, that's not true. Everyone will suffer in some way or another. Either you suffer trying to achieve your dreams and actually maybe achieving them, or suffering from the pain of regret. I'd rather choose to suffer from trying to achieve the thing than just suffering from not even trying. David Goggins, he has his good book Can't Hurt Me. He has a lot of challenges there that you can do when you're trying to become disciplined. Many of them are about journaling, finding out your true passions, your true identity, and who is against you, who is trying to stop you, what challenges you're experiencing, what things are in your way, the obstacles in your way. Then you try to overcome them, and the things you're not comfortable with, you try to do them one at a time, each day, to get used to being uncomfortable, to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's a really important thing you need to learn to do. Well, to leave you off, I would recommend you to read some books if you want to go deeper into this. One of them is, as I said, is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. It's a really inspiring story about discipline and how that can change your life, how that's an important part of your life. And the second one, which I'm also currently reading again, is Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday. That's about discipline applied to every facet of your life, how discipline is the driving force of life, how it is the way for you to reach your goals, to reach your potential. Thank you for watching.